Welcome to Sports Syndicate. Yes, you have seen my face many times before. We had another channel called NFL Syndicate. It was pulled down due to impersonation. So I decided to relaunch it and make sure I didn't get accused of doing that again. So here we are. Yes, you have seen my face and my brand all over the place, but here I am talking about the NFL on Sports Syndicate, where I'll be making multiple videos per day, per week, if the circumstances allow, and we're going to be talking about the NFL and other sports if we get there. I myself will most likely be talking about the NFL, might throw some UFL in there as well. But without further ado, man, welcome to the channel, and you already know me, so let's get started. And if you don't, my name is Derek, and I run Lion Syndicate, as you can see, and many other channels as well. But this video, I wanted to do what 0-2 teams. We're going into week 3 at the making of this video, and what 0-2 teams do I think have the best chance of making the playoffs in 2024. Now, I wanted to show this off. I've made this video multiple times today, but here we go on this channel. These are the odds of teams that have made the playoffs at 0-3. Here is at 3-0, you have 75%, 124 out of 165. But at 0-3, you have 1-3, just 2.5% with 4 out of 162 to win your division. So that was to make the playoffs, to win your division, which guarantees you a playoff spot. If you're 3-0, you are 51%, which is 85 out of 165. If you're 0-3, you are now 1.2%. That's 2 out of 162. And to win the Super Bowl, not just make it, but make it and win it, would be 3-0, 9.7%, 16 out of 165. And if you're 0-3, that is a 0% chance. It has never happened in the Super Bowl era that a team that has started 1-3 has made the Super Bowl. Now, with that being said, there are currently 9 teams in the NFL that are sitting at 0-2. And we're just going to go through. I don't think all 9 have a legitimate chance to make the playoffs. You've got the Denver Broncos, the Baltimore Ravens, the Indianapolis Colts, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Carolina Panthers, who just benched Bryce Young, the Tennessee Titans, the New York Jets, the Los Angeles Rams, and finally the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, I have picked 4 teams out of here that I realistically think could maybe make a push, that I just picked out. I don't think the Denver Broncos, the Indianapolis Colts, the Carolina Panthers, the Tennessee Titans, the New York Jets can make the playoffs. But I do believe that the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Los Angeles Rams, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Cincinnati Bengals have a decent chance. Now, I know the Rams are completely depleted, but last year they were 3-6 at one point. I even think Stafford went on IR. Then he wound up coming back. They made a push, wind up squeaking in the 7th seed, and played the Detroit Lions and only lost by 1 point to the Detroit Lions. But let's take a look and let me see, and let me get your opinion. Which one of these teams do you think has the best chance to still make the playoffs? Let's look at the Cincinnati Bengals. We'll start with them first. They've got the Washington Commanders, the Carolina Panthers, the Baltimore Ravens, and the New York Giants as their next 4 games. Then after that, they got Cleveland, Philadelphia, Vegas, Baltimore, Los Angeles, Pittsburgh, Dallas, Tennessee, Cleveland, Denver, and Pittsburgh. So AFC North, always, division games are always tough. Tennessee Titans and Denver Broncos, I think they're going to have some growing pains. The Dallas Cowboys, you don't know what team you're going to get. The Los Angeles Rams are off to a hot start. The Baltimore Ravens, I don't know. I feel like that in the next 4 at least, the Cincinnati Bengals could really go on 4-0. I think the Bengals have proven that they do this all the time, and they get off to a slow start and then they make a push. Now, last year they were 9-8 and they missed out on the playoffs, but we've seen this team do this before. So I think that even though they have a tough schedule, a lot of in-house opponents, the division is super duper tough. The Bengals have proven that they can do this before. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to take a decline. And I think that the Cincinnati Bengals have a really good chance, even at 0-2. Now, 0-3, that changes things. But at 0-2, I think they have a good chance to turn it around and make the playoffs. Now, let's look at the Baltimore Ravens. I think Baltimore is going to be a bit different. The Kansas City Chiefs, the 2 tough losses, both by 1 score. Then they've got a pretty tight 3 games. You don't know what, again, Dallas Cowboys, they're the same every year. You don't know which team you're going to get. So they got Dallas, Buffalo, Cincinnati, Washington. I do think they beat Washington. I think they get this win, even though it's on the road. I think they get this win. These 3 here, I think best case scenario that, honestly, I think they lose to Buffalo and Cincinnati. Best case scenario, they beat Dallas and the Commanders, and they go to 2-5 on the season. So if we look at the rest of, they got Tampa Bay off to a hot start, a division matchup, Cleveland, Denver should be easy. But no team is easy in the NFL. Pittsburgh, another division, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, New York. So I think they have a good chance, but I think it's going to depend a lot on these next 4 games. They have to go at least 2-2 to go 2-4 just to have a chance, and maybe we'll revisit this later on. So I think with the back end of their schedule in the season with 2 division games and a hot Houston Texans team right now, I think it's going to be tough for the Ravens to make the playoffs, especially if they lose tomorrow. Now let's go with the LA Rams. We already talked about how injured they are, dealing with a lot of injuries. No Cooper Kupp right now, no Puka Nacua. Offensive tackles are out. I mean, the whole team seems like that they're out. Got a tough San Francisco 49ers squad, even though it's at home. The Raiders fans, the San Francisco 49ers fans pretty much own the stadium, being not too far down the interstate there. So I think that's going to be tough. Chicago, I think they can win this game, even depleted as they are. The Chicago Bears offense is horrific. Then you have they got all those weapons over there, but they can't do anything with them. Rookie growing pains. You also have the Green Bay Packers, which you don't know if Jordan Love is going to be back or not. Vegas, and then Minnesota, Seattle, Miami. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for the LA Rams to kind of bounce back. I think they lose tomorrow's game against the San Francisco 49ers. I think they beat the Bears, and then it really depends on that matchup if Jordan Love is back or not. So I think best case scenario out of the next 4, they go maybe 2-2. I see them going, I'm gonna say 2-2. I think they might be able to beat the Raiders, but again, it really depends on who's healthy, because the Raiders, Devontae Adams, they got some guys over there, man. Max Crosby, they can do some damage. So I don't know. I think it's going to be very tough for the LA Rams to bounce back, especially the next 4. Now let's go to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are pretty much dead in the water. Look at this here. Buffalo, Houston, a division game, which is always tough. It doesn't matter what division you're in. And then the Chicago Bears, and I believe it's overseas. So I think that it's very likely they drop the next 2, even though they play another division game. But I think Houston is the better team. So I think they drop the next 2 and possibly even the next 3 and get a W against the Chicago Bears. So I think right now, probably the team that's in the most trouble is going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars. I see them off to a rough start. So out of all of these teams that we mentioned, I think the Cincinnati Bengals, they have the team, they have the biggest chance right now. They're mostly healthy. I think they have the best chance to actually get it together, make the playoffs. I think the Rams are going to be up against it. The Baltimore Ravens and the Jacksonville Jaguars, to me, are the worst of the bunch. It wouldn't be, I think I would give the Rams a little more slack if they were healthy, but they're not. So I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to miss out. I think the Cincinnati Bengals still have a really good chance. Now, it's early in the season. We've seen teams, I mean, for instance, the Lions back in 2022 started 1-6, and they needed the Seahawks to win. If the Seahawks would have lost, we would have got in. So it's not the end of the world if any of these teams lose tomorrow. But statistically, it's not in their favor. And they got a tough schedule, man. And if you're already unhealthy, it's going to be tough. So I think the team with the hardest road is going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think the Cincinnati Bengals are the team that outshines all of those other teams. But again, we see a lot of division games, man, and the Ravens are going to play the Bengals, and that is going to be something, always is. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Welcome to the new channel of Talking NFL. The NFL was on some stuff last year, man, with the direct. This, in my opinion, this is all because of the Sunday Ticket partnering with the NFL. They wanted to make sure that they drowned out any competition I guess, that they had and put all eyes on them. So thank you. Consider subscribing. You already know how we do things, and we'll be talking about the NFL, not just one specific team. I enjoy talking about the NFL so much that I made another channel after the original one got deleted. So let me know what date. This will be the first video. There is 0 audience right now. Let me know what date. Put the date in the comment section along with your comment that you found the channel. I appreciate you guys. Consider subscribing, and we'll be around for more NFL content.